Good day and welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Pilgrim's Bounty and what has changed for 2025 and basically what you should consider doing during the course of the event. Now, getting to the event is pretty simple. The Bountiful tables can be located throughout pretty much most zones in Kalimdor, the Eastern Kingdoms. Basically, though, your major cities will always have the Bountiful tables. So Stormwind, Ironforge, Exodar for the Alliance, Orgrimmar, Silvermoon, Thunderbluff, and Undercity. If you're in Dornigal, you can take the Pilgrim's Bounty quest, but if you're in any major city, you can also take it as well. Obviously, head to the portals to get to your major city quickly. We're going to talk about Bountiful tables before we talk about the major event. So how Bountiful tables work is pretty straightforward. In all the major cities, you'll find a Bountiful table. It has 5 different foodstuffs that you can find on it. Cranberries, stuffing, pie, sweet potato, and turkey. These will each give you a different stat buff if you eat 5 stacks of them. So if you eat 5 stacks of pie, you'll get critical strike, cranberries, mastery, stuffing, versatility, sweet potatoes, haste, and feast on turkey will give you stamina. The buff you obtain will be correlated to the last food item you eat. So you can't just devour a ton of them and have 5 different stat stacks going on. While you're here, you will also want to consider passing along the ingredients. This is important because if you pass along each and every single ingredient, not only will you get an achievement, but you will also get the sharing is caring buff, which is very important. It gives you a 10% reputational gain. You will also get the random opportunity to potentially throw food, which will allow you to get the throw food buff or food fight buff, or achievement I should say. But yeah, that's it in terms of the Bountiful tables. We'll move on to the actual event. You can also get the Spirit of Sharing buff if you consume helpings on your own as well. So if you consume all 5 foods up to 5 stacks, you get the buff as well. Pilgrim's Bounty revolves around essentially cooking, and there are 2 types of cooking quests you will do. You will do daily cooking quests, which will provide you with a Pilgrim's Bounty and various cosmetic outfits, and the main quest line, which begins with the major quest giver you'll find at each quest hub, and will start with basically the first quest, which is the same for Alliance and Horde, Spice Bread Stuffing. Now the major quest line is exactly the same for both Alliance and Horde, culminating in you creating a slow roasted turkey, and this will be the same process for both. You will have to make spice bread stuffing, pumpkin pie, cranberry chutney, candied sweet potatoes, slow roasted turkey. The bounty vendors have been added and they will sell most of the reagents. However, you can also go and buy most of the reagents for these recipes. So if you go and speak to the actual vendors at the location, you can not only get training, which we'll talk about now, but you can actually also grab a lot of the materials that you need. So if you speak to the vendor here, you can buy most of the materials. The thing is, for this, you will need to have a classic cooking skill of 280 to max out the actual quest line. Now that's actually pretty easy to get to because the daily quests, everything altogether gives you a lot of cooking skill. Like, because they're giving you certain recipes that are good at certain ranks, it's easy to rank up. But if you want to complete the major quest line, you will have to do that. The daily quests, on the other hand, the daily quests will give you a Pilgrim's Bounty, which will contain various rewards, which we'll talk about just now, and also will give you random cosmetic pieces that you can pick up each and every single day. Each location will have 2 different ones. These are great because they give you valor stones, and also obviously they are great for raising your cooking skill. So these are also really good. On top of that as well, you can continuously do the bounties as well. So you can go and bring it to them, complete it, and it's really all very easy. The recipes you need are all located with the vendor here, so none of the recipes need you to really focus on anything too crazy. The major reward that you'll obtain is going to be the Pilgrim's Bounty. The Pilgrim Bounty contains various prizes. So firstly, inside the actual Pilgrim's Bounty, you can obtain all of these Pilgrim items: Pilgrim's hat, Pilgrim's attire, Pilgrim's dress, Pilgrim's robe, Pilgrim's boots. On top of that as well, you also have the ability to obtain Bountiful backpacks. Bountiful backpacks are the new item that's been added in, and basically you can get them from the drop inside of this Pilgrim's Bounty. They essentially look a lot like these ones, just with bread sticking out the left hand corner. So they're cool, and it's always cool to get a cool little backpack, so there's nothing wrong with that as well. On top of that as well, you can also pick up some pets. So in the Pilgrim's Bounty, you can also pick up a pet, which is the bush chicken, which is this pretty gnarly looking creature. So yeah, that pretty much covers most things. There's also one toy inside the Pilgrim's Bounty, which is the silver plated turkey shooter. So you can also grab that as well, and it just covers the area with turkey feathers. That actually covers pretty much most of the rewards. So honestly, it's actually pretty simple. You can get one more pet from the achievements, which we'll talk about now. So the world event achievements for Pilgrim's Bounty, we have sharing is caring, food fight. You have now a cooking, which requires you to cook up one of every Pilgrim's Bounty dishes. These are the major quest lines. Pilgrim's Paunch, which requires you to obtain the spirit of sharing from various alliance capital. Pilgrim's Peril, which is horde capitals. The Pilgrim's Progress, which means you need to complete each daily on this character. You then also have a challenge to kiss Talon King Ickis while wearing a Pilgrim's hat. And then you have the Turkinator, which is hunt enough wild turkeys quickly enough to gain Turkey Triumph. Wild turkeys are a rare NPC that you can find pretty much spread throughout most of the areas. Trustful Glades, Elwyn Forest has a ton, and if you kill a whole bunch of them quickly, you get the buff. And then Turkey Lurkey, which if you get the Turkey Shooter, you can blast sneaky dirty rogues with it, which requires you to do a little bit of PvP. Completing all of these, every single one of these, will net you with the Pilgrim achievement. So Pilgrim requires you to complete all of the achievements, and this will give you the there we go. This will give you the Pilgrim title and a plump turkey pet. So pretty cool, pretty straightforward. That about covers it. Honestly, it's mainly a cooking thing still, always will be, which is fine. So it just ultimately depends on you. But yeah, you can get this cool plump turkey pet. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. See you guys next time. Bye.